Depends on who you're seeing.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started with today's ADT training. Thank you all for being here. It's great to see you. I see a lot of new agents on the call, some that just went through our training in the last week or two. So welcome. Hopefully this will become kind of a weekly cadence for you. We're going to continue to do this through the open enrollment. We'll continue to have content that we'll deliver through our agent development training. As you guys know, we've been working through our summer speaker series. So we've had a lot of great agents that have been with us over the last couple of weeks, just talking about how they run a successful practice. Don Larson was last week. Obviously, Don was, I think, really.
I got to follow up, Don.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I know you were on the Danube River cruise with him, right, Kyle?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's the best. I like Don.
Yeah, Don's a solid guy. So guys, today we actually have Kyle with us. I had given a little bit of a promotion in the email that I had sent out earlier, but Kyle really hasn't been with the organization that long. I think it's just been a little bit over a year, if I'm correct.
Yeah, right about.
That's crazy. So I know last year he came in, was it July, Kyle, that you joined the organization?
I think I started in June, but like my first deal was in July. Yeah, I started really working and writing in July.
Okay. And obviously by the end of the contest year, which is the end of February, for those of you that are new, our contest year runs through the end of February. You'd actually moved into, I think you were number 35 agent in the country last year, which is crazy good in a half a year. And then this year you just came out of the gate, obviously crushing it from day one. I ran some quick numbers. You're obviously out ahead of Daniel Smith in the number 2 position in overall sales by about 20,000 right now. Kyle's over 600,000 FYCRs since the beginning of the beginning of March of this year. So just in the last 6 months. And then I pulled up Kyle's supplemental numbers as well. And almost everything that he's doing is supplemental, guys. I mean, he's over 600,000 FYCRs just on supplemental. And for those of you who think that you can't make money in the under 65 space, Kyle, do you sell Medicare right now?
I haven't started Medicare yet.
So I had the opportunity to meet Kyle, I think it was in February. Didn't even really know who he was until we went to Tahoe together. And we had a company trip to Tahoe, and I got to meet him and his girl. And we actually ended up riding up the lift.
The ski lift.
With those guys. So got to pick his brain a little bit. I was very impressed by how quickly he's gotten off the ground. Now, full transparency, he was in the insurance business before this, but I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of how this all came together for him. So Kyle, I'd love to start off with just like, what's your background? What's your career path been like? What kind of brought you to Health Markets originally?
Well, before Health Markets, I was managing, I had equity in an insurance room with a friend. And then basically John Avito, who people probably know of, he was top new agent last year, like the top, they do the top 10. He was the top new agent of the year. And he'd been telling me about the company for like 2 years. And finally, like, just things happened for a reason. And it worked out where I came, met Carl, liked him a lot, Ackerman. And I ended up, I had all my states before, but at this point I hadn't had my states. So I had to buy all my states again, which, it's not too bad. So got all that, you go through getting everything added to the portal. So it took me 2-3 weeks to kind of get going. But, yeah, so I got in, I hit the ground kind of running in the first maybe week or two. I was happy getting a few deals a week, still making good money off a few deals a week. And then I kind of just had things fall into place, I was taking leads a lot at that time, take less leads now. Very rarely do I actually, but, then I just built some relationships for referrals. And that's the beauty of ACA is, you could pretty much, comfortably help family, friends, anyone, and know you're giving them good insurance, doing the right thing. And then the supplements speak for themselves. United Healthcare, Chesapeake, they're good supplements, add value to the plans. I always disclose them. I always send a text after every sale explaining this is what you're paying for your marketplace. This is what you're going to be billed by UHC Chesapeake. And this is supplemental on top. Like, it's a different plan, just so there's no confusion. So if you ever in the future, what am I paying for this? I don't want to have any issues there. So I always try and like break that down for them. But, yeah, so basically just one partner led to another, a lot of partners, offices. I've been doing insurance for a long time, so I know a lot of people in a lot of different rooms, different companies, even people that work in indemnity rooms that sell the crap. I'm able to get them people that want to do the right thing. I have them secretly sending me people that they know need marketplace, pregnant, or have a major pre-existing. And then basically I work things out where I'm able to take care of whatever, like paying for a lead, but obviously your CPA is good when you're only paying for what you're closing.
Yeah. So I want to go back a little bit. So you say you've been in the insurance business for quite a while. When did you start? Like how long ago?
2020, I think I started when I was like 20 years old. Oh, I'm 33 now. Yeah, 2020. While I was still going to FAU in college, I was working part-time doing insurance, got licensed.
2000,
Um,
2010. How old are you
I'm
now?
sorry, 2010, 2010, 2010.
My math wasn't working there.
Yeah, no, 2010. And it
2010.
was a good room. That was before Obamacare. So we were selling like private United Healthcare, private Blue Cross, all the major carriers when they were still doing private. My dad was part owner of that company with a friend. So they kind of got me licensed. Took me 3 times to pass the test. I remember. First time I didn't study at all. I got like a 50, then I got a 69, and then I got the 70.
Gotcha.
Um, from there, we did that a few years. That office closed. They just stopped. Then I kind of got out of it for a little. I worked at Allstate for like 2 years, miserable. I didn't like that. That was not selling. That was being like an auto claims representative.
Right.
And then I did that until I met my wife. I was like, yo, I got to make more money. I wasn't getting married at the time, but I had an opportunity to come with U.S. Health where they were starting a Fort Lauderdale office, and I went there and started making stupid money, like really good. Like compared to what I was doing at Allstate, I was making what I make in a week in 2 weeks in a week. And what I was making what I made in 2 weeks in like a day or two there for the beginning. And then was there for like 2 years, 2.5 maybe, got out of there in like 2018. And then I did something with a friend where we started a company. I managed, I had equity, did that for like 4 or 5 years. And then I ended up coming to health markets,
Yeah.
throw away the equity, just wanted to build my own book of business. Because believe it or not, from what I know, there's a lot of residual money in ACA too. Once you get your account, you know, paid, and obviously, that's why I take an advanced reduction. Obviously, I don't want to have to. I want to get my I'm here for residuals. Ultimately, the
Right.
upfront money is awesome. That's why next year I will do Medicare. Just this year, I'm trying to hopefully finish in the top five, hopefully number one. God bless, God, knock on wood. Who knows if that'll happen? But I'm going to focus on under 65. There's definitely a lot of money to be made there. But I'll definitely get into Medicare next year because
Yeah.
that's where I know a lot of the real residuals are at too.
It is, but ACA, I mean, when you think about ACA, it's really the one product we have where renewal commissions are, pretty much first year commissions because you're renewing them
Yeah,
each year. So we don't have
exactly.
a lot of other products that have that kind of a trail. And I think agents have kind of lost sight of that a little bit. It's really intriguing to me to see the number one agent because we're such a heavy Medicare group, that you're blowing it up and just focusing on that under 65 space. So yeah, that's great. So I want to talk a little bit about kind of the activities that you've done. So are you completely virtual or by phone, or do you meet with clients face to face ever?
I haven't met with clients face to face, maybe a friend here and there, somebody like a personal relationship, but no, I'm 99% virtual
So
on the
what were
phone.
how'd you get started in this? Like what granular activities, like marketing, a new agent getting started, came out of training last week. What was your path to success from that point?
Trying to think. I mean, basically, part relationships with people I've known in the past, people I've managed, just being able to get people to from other lines of business that don't do ACA to send me calls and to send me people that need ACA. So that was huge for me.
So did you reach out to them? Did you have like a formal process for reaching out to them, or just
Well,
reach?
honestly, I had one friend, knock on wood, who passed away like a year ago, but he sorry, I have a call, I'll text him that I'm busy.
Good.
Um, he set me up with a bunch of people, and then it just turned into more people, more businesses. I've gone to a few networking events, very good networking events, where I've been able to meet some pretty successful people that have put me in touch with business owners. I've got a few PNC offices down here, a few accountants that really send me. Those are good clients. They don't usually get subsidies, so they're really high end plans. They like the supplements. and everything of that nature.
Yeah. So how
But
many
yeah,
you run
just
into?
building. Oh,
How many?
sorry, you first.
You're fine. I was just asking how many client engagements are you doing per week at this point?
Oh,
This
I
is
can't even count, honestly. I mean, engagements, I don't close everything I talk to. I'm talking to probably 70 to 80 people a week. And I mean, knock on wood, closing 20, 30, 40 of them. Nah, probably, I mean, I'd say averaging like 25 to 35 sales a week, probably talking to about 100 people, 120. A lot of people get back to me. A lot of my clients refer me people now. I always ask for referrals. I always send a picture of my business cards right when I make a sale. And I tell them, please send me referrals. If you're happy with what I did for you, I'll do that for anyone else, friend, family, and get them taken care of.
right.
You
That's
know,
great. That's a ton of engagements and so when you're connecting with these people, is most of it by text, by phone, by
I
email?
usually text first. Sometimes I have my people send me the transfer, just like Zoom or three-way call me and introduce me. But it's mostly because I'm so busy, I'm always on the phone. I'm usually getting a text and texting the person. Some people don't respond, some people respond a week later. Some mornings start slow, some like yesterday actually started good, had a dry spot, went home, and I got busy from like 7 to 9 p.m. I don't really have set hours. I'm just available when I need to be available.
You start pretty early.
I'm not like John Avito. He's here at 5 a.m. every morning and he closes big sales at that time. Like he literally usually has a few sales by 7 or 8 a.m. I usually try now lately I've been getting here by 8 and leaving. I live pretty close and I usually leave at either 3 to beat traffic and work from home, or I'll stay until 6 or 7. But I mean, I'm definitely leaving a lot of money on the table too, because I know I don't really work nights unless I'm getting referrals, but there's a lot of money to be made late at night.
Are
Like
you
me personally, I wouldn't take transfers really midday, even though I did take 7 one day 2 weeks ago and I closed 4 like midday live transfers from health markets. But like from my experience when I first started, the nights were good, like after 5 p.m.
yeah. Are you working Nate? So you mentioned 50 states. Are you licensed in 50 states?
No, I'm in 32 states. I,
Okay.
I don't really do the state exchanges too much. Like, I don't do Maryland or Colorado. I'm gonna do Virginia. They just switched. I have PA, Nevada. You can't sell Nevada unless you're a resident, I don't believe. I'm licensed there. But I don't obviously New York, New Jersey, stay away from I don't do. California, I do. Um, but no, I'm in 32, not all 50.
So your clients pretty well spread across all of those states,
Oh
or do you?
yeah.
Okay, so none that you're really heavy in.
No, it's all spread. It's all I do a lot of like Arkansas, Florida, Ohio, Texas, West Virginia, Wyoming, pretty much everywhere. I
So
love West Virginia, Wyoming.
are the referral partners that are sending you these leads in those states then, or
No, they work for companies that, do basically can sell in all states too,
okay,
you know. And then most of my Florida, I write a lot in Florida because a lot of my like offices, they are Florida, but some do national sales. So they'll give me Texas, Ohio, states like that.
okay, and then as far as assistance, infrastructure support, do you have anybody helping you or supporting you at this point?
I have one assistant. I mean, my wife is probably going to get licensed and work for me full time. She wants to. She wants to maybe become an agent and she
Okay,
wants to do Medicare. She pushes me to do Medicare a lot actually because she goes on these trips and just sees. But I have one assistant. I like to handle my own customer service. It keeps me busy. Not that I like that, but I don't want to lose a sale for something I could have avoided. So I'm always answering my phone if I'm on a call, texting a client. I'm never just avoiding a client or not. Like I know some people, I won't say any names, that they avoid clients. Once they make a sale, they get their advance, it's done. But I mean, I just see that being stupid. One, you can get an unnecessary complaint. Two, you can lose a deal if you're not answering. These people just want to be acknowledged, like you care, and like you can. There's a lot of easy things you can just help them with, like their card or a doctor, or they're mad about a prescription being $5 more than you told them. But you just explain. I mean, these insurance companies, they're above my pay grade. They're multi-billion-dollar companies. I can help you, but that's just what it is.
right, right. So what does the assistant actually do for you then?
handles my grace periods and people that are like about to lapse, just like to reach out to them and let them know a payment needs to be made. Pretty much that's it. And I don't pay much right now. I've had other assistants in the past. My assistant now is very good, but I've had others that I share with people. We all would pay a certain amount. So they're getting like 500, 600 a week, like four people pitch in 150 a week. But what I have now is better, and it's just I'd rather handle the deal saving in that aspect and have them just try and keep things on the book if they're about to fall off, because I don't have time to just keep an eye on everything.
Right. So you are working some health markets leads, it sounds like, both live transfers and other types of leads. Do you have any
I'd
intel?
like to get into the $2 leads, but I haven't really. I've tried them a few times a while ago, and I've had success. Like I didn't close many, but I had good contact. So there, I mean, I think that's good value. But the transfers, I know people in my office that make a living off the transfers.
Right.
They close a lot of them. That's all they do.
Right.
I
But
mean,
you're really, I mean, driving through mostly referrals at this point, correct? Even though
I
it's,
am.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's been years of building to where you're at right now. Are you advertising or doing anything? You spend any money as far as other types of outbound advertising?
I haven't yet. I probably will. I've thought about putting a sign on my car or, I mean, I'm in South Florida. I'm not going to put a billboard up. There's a million billboards of lawyer, everything. So it's like, but I haven't yet. No.
Okay.
I talked to like Randy Roberts and people like that are big on that, and it works for them though.
Yeah, for sure. So what does your sales process look like? Once you engage with somebody, can you kind of walk us through what happens?
Basically get the information I need. I mean, not everything's a one call close. Some of them are a week later, a day later. I never really pressure anyone. I let them know, like, I mean, I believe this is your best option, depending on the situation. I let them know, like, I don't get cocky, but I'm not desperate to make us. I tell them, I'm like, I don't need you to enroll. I'm not desperate for like some that people can feel that when you're like pushing them to buy. I'm like, at the end of the day, it's a decision you have to make. I don't want to sign you up if you don't trust me or if this is something you're going to cancel in a week, da 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 da. And I basically just evaluate their situation, see what's going to be best, go over different options, not just one, deductibles, their needs, if they're more focused on a lower premium or if they want top of the line coverage, and just kind of like figure out what's best for them. But some are one call close, some aren't. The live transfers, I guess, you should try and do one call close because they're probably getting a lot of calls.
Right. Right. Referrals obviously have a little longer shelf life on than
Yeah,
live.
a little. Not crazy longer, but definitely a little.
Yeah. So how do you weave the supplemental? I mean, you're selling it. I looked out of your 624,000 FYCRs this year, 602,000 are supplemental. So obviously, you're using the health insurance to get in the door to sell the subs.
Oh yeah.
What's the conversation look like, and why are all these people so convinced that they need to buy supplemental insurance at such a high level?
Well, I never try and oversell subs. So I mean, I know people that sell $400 or $500 subs on one policy. My average sub is like 80 to 120. 150 is a big sub sale for me. I'm usually always doing dental and vision. And then I usually throw on the $44 accident wise. It's more if it's more than one person. So those are my two main subs. And then I'll do critical sometimes and hospital wise, but I always do the guaranteed issued hospital wise most of the time. And just tell them it's 350 a day for how many days, 6 month wait if it's pre-existing. But I never try and like just make a big sub sale to get paid a lot of money real quick. I'd rather do one that they're happy with and comfortable paying that's going to stay on the books and not mess up my back end,
Right.
you know,
100%.
and not like overcharge them either. Because if someone's paying $80 for health insurance and 400 for supplements, at some point they're going to be like, why is that?
Right. Right. Exactly. So are you tech from a technology perspective? You're obviously doing most of your enrollments through Quote Connect.
Yeah, Quote Connect, some through Sherpa,
Okay.
but all connected to my back end.
Right. And then are you using the Agent Connect CRM, or do you have a different platform you use?
I don't use anything different. That's the only CRM I use. And
Okay.
I probably should use it more, honestly. I mean, I'll check policies in there, but yeah, I don't have anything like special other platforms.
Do you use the mobile app or the desktop version?
I've never used the mobile app.
Okay.
Is there an app in the App Store?
There's actually there is a mobile app that you can run the CRM right off your phone. So
Well, is it like you log in on the website or you have to download an app?
so it was an app until
That'd
last
be cool.
They just updated it where it's actually the website that you go to, but you can tag it to your home screen and access it from there.
Yeah, I haven't done that. I mean, I always do it on my laptop or my desktop at work, the computer I'm on here.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, so
Are
good to
most
know.
of the other guys? I mean, your office is crushing it. You guys are number one by a long shot. We've been
We have
trying.
a lot of agents, and we've got a lot of new agents now too. There's been a lot. I haven't been doing much recruiting. I can, but I just focus on working. But we have a lot of new agents in here.
Yeah.
People
Well,
that write a lot.
and obviously a lot of, I mean, supplemental. Are you guys selling any life insurance?
Yeah, there's some big incentives for life insurance right now. I need to sell more. It's very good, pays well, helps the client. I've probably sold like 20 policies since I started out of like 1,000 people I've enrolled. So I definitely, that's one thing I do want to work on, is selling more of the terms and the life insurances.
Yeah. So are you on your post sale process? So when you make a sale, like what does it look like after the sale is made?
Well, like I said, I text them a breakdown. I text them my business card, ask for referrals, let them know I don't just disappear after I sign you up. I'm your agent. Sometimes I'll tell them I get paid the longer you stay with me. So of course I want to help you out and keep you covered. So I just basically let them know I'm here if they have questions. If you don't have your cards by your effective date, call me. We'll call the carrier, or you'll call the carrier. And I just let them know I'm here for the future, but I always ask for the referral and always send them the business card and always text them the breakdown of what they're paying for. UHC Chesapeake will bill you this amount for this service, and Ambetter or Blue Cross will bill you this amount after your whatever subsidy monthly savings is applied based on your income and
How are you,
household.
how are you handling re-enrollments and renewals each year? Do you have a
We'll
process?
see. I've only done it 1 year. This will be the test. So, I mean, I'm going to probably work on another assistant for that, a licensed assistant, and then I'll have to be on top of it. I mean, I want to, sell more products if I can, not push it on people. I know there's some people with our company that make a living during open enrollment just selling more products to their existing book. But, like, yeah, that's something I'm going to have to deal with during open enrollment. That's going to keep me very busy.
Yeah.
So I don't know yet.
So I'm curious, just backing out a little bit. You've seen a lot of different opportunities within the insurance sector. Like, why health markets? What drew you to this, and what's keeping you here? I think it's a great opportunity too. But I'm interested in hearing it from your perspective.
Well, honestly, it just shows you. I mean, anyone can do whatever. I mean, I you can make a lot of money, but it's not even like I said, the upfront money is awesome. But when you go on these trips, like Tahoe, especially Tennessee was good, but especially like even the cruise, you just see the people that have been here 20, 30 years and the opportunity and the what you can build if you just do it the right way, knock on wood. And build their own business. You're basically building your own business for a big business that you have behind you, and they give you awesome incentives and bonuses. Like I've been here a year, I've already gone on 3 nice trips for free with Italy, knock on wood, coming up. So I mean, there's a lot to work for, and yeah, I haven't seen a company like it. I don't bash other companies, but there's no other company I've worked for or seen that like does anything like this.
Yeah.
And we're selling the best products of Medicare and health, and it's so you're helping people, you have opportunity to make a lot of money and build residuals.
So what are you seeing? I know I'm not asking specifics, but the guys around you down there are crushing it too. So what kind of incomes? I mean, you're seeing everybody's income grow in that office. I got to believe pretty remarkably, right?
Yeah, crazy incomes,
It's
really.
Yeah, it's nuts with the kind of numbers you guys are pushing. What that income grows into. Um, are you doing anything different this year? Are you planning to change anything over the next year in your business?
Just with hiring my wife, maybe she'll be a big help full time working for me. um I mean, honestly, like some days I get overwhelmed because I get a lot of calls, like even this morning, just like boom, boom, boom. It's the end of the month. This is a busy week. People scramble for the first. So I mean, I'm just always, staying available and working, never neglecting a partner, whether it's a big office or an individual person. I always, even if I'm at the gym or out with my wife, or even when I was in Europe or like on a vacation, like I'm going on a vacation next week for 2 days during the week. So I have to like, give them a warning, let them know. But I'm still texting the people they send and letting them know it's being handled. So no one's getting like neglected or anything.
Yeah, I didn't have an opportunity to attend that Danube River trip. Was that an awesome trip?
Yeah, it really was. The flight there was awesome. I mean, I upgraded that flight to first class. The flight home was terrible because I couldn't, and I'm a bigger guy, so like, but once I got home, it was good. But yeah, it was an awesome 8 nights, and then I mean, I'll extend Italy, knock on wood, for another week. But I was ready to get home, but it was awesome being there and the experience. My
Yeah,
wife loved it. I loved it. And you always meet new people. I'm new, so I'm always meeting new people.
right.
The Sung guy is pretty cool. I like him. Sung.
Yeah, Sung's a good dude. We actually had him talk to the team, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago. It might have been 2 weeks ago, right after you guys got back from the Danube
I'm
River.
sure he loved it. He was taking a lot of pictures. He was all over the place.
Yeah. But he's new too, and he's new in leadership. I mean, he's not been with the organization that long. So that was a very elite group of people that went on that trip. So
It makes
congratulations.
you want to earn it every time. It's going to be tough, but it gives you expectations. Like you don't want to miss one.
Right, exactly. So as you're watching new agents around you, like what's advice you'd have? I mean, I think there's not many people in the organization that have gotten out to the quick start, from the time they started. I mean, we're 13 months in for you right now, and to finish number 35 in the first half year, and then to be crushing it at number one. What advice would you have for newbies getting started in the business at this point? Because we got a lot of them on the call.
Honestly, I would say just, treat it like your own business. And you obviously take the leads if you can. Keep an eye on your lead budget. Don't go like too crazy negative or anything. Don't get negative if you get bad leads. No, if it's like 5, 6 bad in a row and you want to turn them off, do it later. But just try and work avenues of companies and local businesses, family, friends, and I mean anyone. You can really sell anyone Medicare or ACA and try and get partnerships that can just add to your flow of sales. That's the main thing. Just treat it like your own business because it is at the end of the day.
It's just activity. I think you probably just have more activity than most agents do.
Yeah, I have a lot of activity.
Yeah.
It's true. Keeps
Well,
me
man,
busy.
I told you I'd try to keep it short today. I know we're at the end of the month, and I know you're crazy busy. So I don't want to run any longer than 30 minutes with you here. I want to let you get back to what you're doing. I do appreciate you taking a few minutes though and jumping in and chatting with the team. I think a lot of people have been very curious about what you're doing, how you're doing it. Trying to get some of the more granular details. Is there anything else you can share with us, or that you'd like to share with the team before we wrap things up?
I mean, I think we covered a lot, but I'm always open to questions. Anyone can message me or email me. Um, Basically just working on partnerships and being available, answering your clients' calls to keep your book good. Working the right times. I mean, like I said, I start at 8, I go home sometimes at 3, but I'm definitely working till 7, 8, 9. Sometimes like last night I closed a deal, I think at 9:30 or 10 p.m. at night. So there's no set hours. I know people that take transfers at 11:30 or 10, 11 at night and they do well if you're doing the Arizonas and Californias. So it's just a matter of, not having a set like 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, because a lot of the money is there before 8 and after 5. Because I mean, a lot of the good buyers are working those hours, you know. So it's basically just it's like you're playing a game, but you're working, and you have the opportunity to make whatever kind of income you want. At the end of the day, you always get better, you know.
Yep. Well, I'm impressed by what you're accomplishing, buddy. It's you're doing some great things. It's going to be fun to see where you land once we hit the end of the year.
Oh yeah.
If there's anything I can do to help you or support you in any way, don't ever hesitate to reach out. But yeah, we'll let you hop off here. Thank you for jumping in for a little bit with our team. Do appreciate it. For everybody else on the call, if you guys want to stick around for just a few minutes, I have just a few announcements that I've decided to push towards the end of the call. So Kyle, you're welcome to jump. Thanks again for being here, man. We really appreciate your insights.
Thank you for having me, guys. Have a good day.
All right. Take care,
We'll
my
be in
friend.
touch. Thanks, Silas.
Yep. You're welcome. See ya.
Take
Bye.
care, man.
All right, guys. There wasn't any mind-blowing things that Kyle's doing other than working hard. I think it's kind of interesting as you look back over the last 6 weeks or so, all of the different top people that we've had come in and talk. Obviously, people are doing things in uniquely different ways. Kyle spread out over 30 some states and selling primarily by phone. He actually is holding on to a decent amount of his business. As I kind of looked at the numbers, he's written about 800,000 FYCRs year to date and kept about 600,000. So he's had about 25% fall off, which is probably, you know, probably pretty good when you're selling completely virtually over the phone like that. I know a lot of you on the call are more face to face. And we probably have, well, we do have the highest persistency numbers, you know, in the country because of kind of how we engage with the consumer. So hopefully you guys are enjoying these summer speaker series. I'm going to try to do a couple of more here before we start, you know, really starting to prep for AEP and OEP and getting into the grind on that. A few quick announcements that I wanted to make. Number one, for those of you in Indiana, I've noticed that our United Healthcare and Humana Medicare commissions hadn't completely flowed through yet this month. So I did reach out to our commission accounting team just to get an update. Sometimes it's a matter of when those feeds are coming in. I know those of you in Michigan deal with it occasionally with Priority and Blue Cross and Blue Shield. It's just a timing on when the money shows up and how quickly health markets can push it out and get it allocated, you know, for processing. We haven't had United Healthcare and Humana running behind together in a month recently, but I noticed that this morning. So I just want to let you guys know that I did actually reach out on that. I also wanted to remind you guys that we are going to have a territory event on September 29th. So I'm going to be getting out invitation to that. It's actually going to be held in New Buffalo, Michigan at the casino that's there, the Four Winds Casino. So it's going to be an all territory meeting. It'll obviously be just a couple of days before October 1st. And for those of you who are going to be playing in Medicare this year, October 1st forward is kind of when our crazy time begins. For those of you who are focusing on the under 65 space, you know, your open enrollment begins on November 1st. So you've got a little bit different window there. So we're going to host that event. If you're a tier 3 or tier 4 agent, we're going to invite you to come in on Thursday evening. So that would be on the 28th. And we're going to have a tier 3 and tier 4 just social event on site there at New Buffalo. We'll be making some rooms available. I think Christy got a discounted rate of like $159 a night. So we'll need to get some RSVPs on that. I'll need to get some RSVPs for the meeting too, because we will be hosting a lunch event immediately after the meeting on Friday. And I just need a head count to be able to plan appropriately. So watch for the details on that. Obviously kind of one big event, but tier 3 and tier 4 agents will be coming in Thursday night and spending the night. Everybody else will come in on Friday morning for a Friday morning meeting. And then that'll really launch us into the open enrollment, annual enrollment timeframe. A few things that a number of us are beginning to do that I just wanted to comment on. If you are in the Medicare space, and you have a larger and larger book of business that you need to work with every single year, one of the things you might consider is ANOC meetings, annual notice of change meetings. We actually got some clarification from our carrier partners on Friday that we do need to register those with CMS, but any of our carrier partners can actually register those for you. I'll tell you what I'm doing. We're actually going to be doing in the first week of October, I'm going to be doing 30-minute ANOC meetings for my book of business by plan that they're in. So if I have a lot of clients on a United Healthcare PPO1 plan, which I do, I'm going to do 3 meetings, 3 30-minute meetings, and send out invitations, and it's going to be done via Zoom. It's going to be just a 30-minute virtual session where they'll be able to come in. I'm going to go through the annual notice of change document. I'm also going to answer questions, kind of generic questions about the coverage, and kind of give them my thoughts and insights on, you know, for that particular plan design, you probably just need to stay put on this particular plan. I've got other blocks of clients who are in my book of business who we might want to look at moving them, or they may have a few other things to consider. So I'm breaking them up by the plan that they're enrolled in is kind of how I'm approaching it. And then running those ANOC meetings through the first week of October to try to knock out at least a couple hundred people in that virtual environment. So I'm happy to cross-pollinate with any of you on that if you have ideas or thoughts or want to talk through what that might look like for you. I do know we have a couple of agents that are thinking about doing in-person ANOC or annual notice of change meetings. We've got some agents who have done that with some success across the country. So, you know, I'm happy to kind of walk through that and talk through that with you as well, if there's something like that you actually want to do. So also, if you're getting certified for this next year, we're hoping to have certifications done, our carrier certifications done by the 1st of September. That would be the goal. Part of it is we want to make sure that you're ready to sell in all of the systems. So that would be the deadline I would encourage you all to shoot for. So if you've got some certifications to wrap up when it comes to Medicare, try to get those done this week. We also now have the FFM certification that needs to be redone. So if you haven't redone that yet, make sure that you get logged in and redo that. I do know that AHIP, for those of us who did AHIP a little bit early, there was a module that we had to go back in and complete. I think it was some updates from CMS after they launched the initial AHIP. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure and go back, log back into your AHIP. You can go back into the AHIP site and log in and just make sure if there's one more module there, they added it. And I've got a couple of reminders about it before I actually completed it. So I wanted to remind you about all that as well. There was one other thing I was going to talk about today, and I'm totally drawing a blank on what it was. Do you guys have questions or things you'd like to ask about? We do have a couple more minutes I had scheduled for today, so I'm happy to kind of open it up and just see if there's any questions or things that have come up that I can help guide people on. I did, hopefully, one thing I'll mention is you guys are kind of thinking if there's anything else you want to ask about. This is what I wanted to talk about, was the whole Connecture platform. I know that Arnie Aloff hosted some trainings over the last week or so. They were good. I think we're going to do some additional training though, because I think there's some things we can teach above and beyond what Arnie actually went through. I will tell you, and we talked about this a little bit in our Friday meeting for our Indiana sales teams, although I had several agents who didn't catch, I think, what I was explaining on Friday. So I can say it again for the entire organization. One of the things that we're finding as a best practice is that when we're quoting in Medicare, when we're on the household inside of the CRM and we're clicking out to quote, we're actually clicking on the Quote Connect button and the Connecture button simultaneously, or back to back. And what that does then is it opens two different tabs. You have one tab that your Quote Connect is on and one tab that your Connecture is on. We're then using Connecture. We're entering our prescription information, our doctor's information, doing the analysis of products, Medicare products that we want to sell. And then once we identify what products we want to sell, we're actually going into Quote Connect and using the 3-panel proposal to quote the products. We're actually putting in the supplemental products, however you'd like on those 3 panels. And then you can actually use the custom field in Quote Connect to add either the Medicare Advantage with prescription drug plan or a Medicare supplement with a prescription drug plan. I know Steve's going to do some additional trainings on this too, because there's a really slick way to be able to line up just 2 quotes side by side, use 2 of the 3 panels on that proposal. One being Medicare Advantage with the appropriate supplements, and one being Medicare supplement with prescription drug coverage and the appropriate supplements. So it's a very simple way to kind of lay out 2 options. Because Medicare products are no longer available in Quote Connect, you do have to manually enter those, but it's not a very cumbersome process when you use that custom quote functionality. Once you've entered in a carrier's name, it then is saved in there as in a drop down. So when you go back in, all you have to do is hit custom quote, select the carrier, and then put in the premium for the plan that you're actually selling, and then load it onto whichever quote in the proposal that you'd like. So that's kind of a best practice and something that we found to work pretty well. I also want to clarify a few things around doctors and prescription information. So if you guys had previously put information into Quote Connect, you put doctor's information and prescription information in there, all of that information that you had entered is saved back in the CRM on that household or that client file. So if you're going to push into Connecture for the first time with this client and you had information stored on their profile, you can actually just click on the Quote Connect or the Connecture button from the household. You got to push it out from the household, and it'll take all that client's information, including their zip code, their county, their date of birth, their gender, and all their medications and all their client or their doctor information, and it'll push it into Connecture for you. So whatever's stored in your CRM from previous years in Quote Connect can be absolutely ported out into Connecture. The one thing that doesn't happen right now this is going to be fixed in September, but right now, if you put something new into Connecture, a new drug or a new doctor's information, right now that is not saved back to the CRM. So nothing's flowing from Connecture back into the CRM as far as the doctor information and the prescription information. Now, if you execute a sale inside of Connecture, if you actually execute that sale, that does go back and it notates in the CRM that particular lead was sold, and it initiates the appropriate follow-up, thank you emails and things like that on the back end of it. And it marks it as a sale with that particular product loaded in on that particular household. So the sale component of it does go from Connecture back into the CRM. It's just that prescription and doctor information isn't saved right now, which isn't a huge deal because it does stay inside of Connecture. And by September, that will all start syncing back to the CRM. So there are some significant upgrades that are kind of coming. One other thing that I'll just mention is inside of the Connecture platform, there is a personal URL functionality. And it's actually a direct to consumer quoting and enrollment link that you can begin to use and share. Basically, a consumer can go to that link, shop on Connecture underneath you, make a selection, apply online, pay for it, and you get full commission for it. So that is a nice additional upgrade on Connecture that's going to be available for this AEP, OEP timeframe as well. So I wanted to give you guys updates on that. I'm going to keep telling you stuff like this as it comes up because obviously I think sometimes the repetition is important. But I'd encourage you, play around in Connecture. If you have questions that come up, please let me know. Last thing I'm going to mention is the Agent Connect mobile app did get changed in the last week. So the old mobile app that we downloaded to our phone is now defunct and gone. And what is actually happening, there was a communication that came out from Health Markets that you guys can access. There's a training in there on it and a PowerPoint slideshow that you can go through to kind of tell you how to set it up. But basically what you're doing is you're going out from your phone to the Agent Connect CRM, and then you're taking that and saving that link to your phone so that it looks and functions like a mobile app. But ultimately then we're not going to have to do updates or upgrades to the app because it's all going to be live out on the web. So I would encourage you, if you haven't loaded that on yet, load that on and start playing around with that a little bit. That functionality there. We've had a couple of bugs that I've escalated. So if you run into something that's buggy on it or not working correctly for you, let me know. Send me screenshots if you can with the details, and I'll send those and escalate them. I do, just so you guys know, when it comes to commissions, technology, anything related to our business, appointments, anything that we can help solve for you, Rachel and I maintain an escalation tracker. And so if you send us something and I escalate it on your behalf, I usually copy you on it, and then we initiate a follow-up process on that. I can't always get things solved within hours or days, but I believe in kind but steady pressure over time, and that's going to get us what we want and what we need. So that's what I try to do, is I try to keep out on top of those things. Rachel helps me with that escalation tracker. We literally log everything that comes in and where we sent it, and then we try to follow up with it at least every few days to stay on top of it and get you guys answers. So I've actually got a meeting, I think later this week, with Rachel just to go over the escalation tracker. And so if there's something that we haven't solved, we'll be re-escalating it on your behalf. So with all of that information, I know there's a lot that I kind of data dumped on you there, but I want to continue to keep you guys informed. Are there any questions or things that we can answer before we wrap up today's call? Sandra, was there anything in the chat box at all?
Hi, Silas. It's Maureen.
Hey, good morning, Mo. How are you? I see you.
Good morning. I'm well, thank you. Nice to see you too. A question about the functionality of Connecture. I think there's a few of us, including Emily, had stated the lag. It's. I think Jill had to postpone a couple of appointments because of the lag on Connecture. The search functionality is just keeps on spinning. Is there any reason or anything that we can do to help?
So I saw you guys' communication on Crew this morning about that, and that was the first that I'd heard of a delay, and I hadn't noticed it myself, and I've been playing around in it. But I'm going to take that and escalate it here today, and figure out what's going on. So I don't know what it might be, but we can certainly push on the Connecture team and see if there's a specific reason and a good fix.
And I think Arnie even had the same issue when he was doing his little webinar.
One of his webinars. Okay.
Yeah.
Prescriptions seem to be working fine. You can search prescriptions, but you go to search doctors and pharmacies and it just spins at you. It won't complete the search.
Okay. I'll escalate that today. Thanks for letting me know.
Hey, Silas, it's Mariah.
Hey, Mariah.
I was a little bit distracted when you said about porting over from Quote Connect to Connecture with the prescriptions, did you say there was a button that we can do that? Or we just have to like have the two screens open, like you said before, and just kind of move it?
There's definitely a button. So when you're in Agent Connect, here, let me share my screen and I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Got a lot going on here. Hold on. So when you're in Connecture and you're actually on a client, let me think of one here. I'm thinking of she actually might be in here. Sandra, I was thinking of your friend. We'll pull it up here. So I don't know if this is a
Which friend? I have lots of friends.
lots of
I
friends.
think.
This one right here. So when you're in the household, see, I'm in this person's household. Right here are two buttons. This one will kick you out to Quote Connect. This one will kick you out to Connecture. If you go to Connecture from here, any doctor information and prescription information that is stored in the CRM will actually be ported out into the Connecture platform.
Okay, and when you say stored in the CRM, you don't mean what's stored in Quote Connect from the prior year?
No, I do.
Oh, so when we quoted someone in Quote Connect, it did automatically port to the CRM.
Correct.
Is there a way to like see that in the household?
Is this a new function?
Yeah, I'm confused. I'm sorry. This is probably just a me thing.
No, it's not. That's not new functionality. So for many, I mean, for as long as I don't know if it was forever, but for the last number of years, if you put doctor's information and prescription information into Quote Connect, it was actually stored back in the CRM.
I've never seen that. I always had to go back to Quote Connect in order to pull prescription data. I've never, unless I don't know where it is in the CRM, which is very possible.
Well,
if I don't know how to get to it.
This client, it doesn't look like I have any for this client.
Oh, okay.
So let me, so if you click on the person and you come in, it's right here under the Medicare info.
Okay.
So if I put in the Medicare, if I look at this,
Oh, there it is.
it's all right here.
Okay. Okay, it was a me thing. Thank you, Silas.
Yeah, so it's not stored on the household. Keep that in mind. It's actually stored on the person, which really makes sense because if I have a husband and a wife, they might have different Medicare information. But this
is just helpful when we need to go through to see, what has changed. And instead of having to bounce back to Quote Connect, if we can see it in the CRM, that's like extremely helpful.
100%. That's why I talked about it on Friday and again today. So I'm trying to repeat again and again, like what's happening here, because it is great that this information is in here. So anything you entered in Quote Connect is stored right here. And then from the household, when you port out from here and click this button right here, that'll take all that information and port it out into Connecture for you.
See, that's where my question is that part a new function? Because I had two clients that just turned 65 that I had their information in Quote Connect or so in the CRM, but it did not pull into Connecture. I had to go in and manually input their prescriptions again and their doctors and things like that.
I honestly, Emily, I don't know when that happened, but I mean, we've only had Connecture for less than a year. So I'm not sure when that functionality actually was initiated. I don't remember if it was right when we launched or at some later date. But moving forward now, it should. If you've got information in there, if you click on the person and you come down and there's Medicare information stored here, when you go to Connecture and click out to it, it should port over. So
hey, Emily, it may not work if they weren't Medicare prior.
Okay.
Like if they were under 65 prior, I'm not sure. Obviously, this is new for me too, but I'm just thinking if the CRM is storing it under Medicare info, they pulled that from Quote Connect, so they're probably not pulling our under 65s in there.
Prescriptions.
That makes sense.
That could be a reality. I don't know that. I haven't actually played with that to know, because you're right. If they were under 65 and you put in doctor information and drug information.
I just was playing around with it with a client who was under 65, then on Medicare, and when I click on his Medicare info, there's nothing there.
Yeah. That might be a glitch that maybe was causing some people. I never thought of that before, but I don't know if it was necessarily a glitch. It's just a matter of how the system actually works, right?
I just checked one of my under 65 clients who has prescriptions, and no, it's not in there.
Okay.
So
Good to know. Well, I want to continue to do this. Cab and I are going to do some additional trainings. I think we're probably going to record a few things around how we're leveraging and using Connecture. Cab, I know we've got a couple of minutes left. Do you have anything to add to what I've said when it comes to Connecture, the integration?
No, again, I have found that it's very simple. And again, I don't even do the 2 screens anymore. I just literally go in and I customize a quote right away. Because again, when I'm attacking someone on Medicare, it's the first thing we got to find out is which path do you want to take. So I always go in with a 0 premium Medicare Advantage. I go in with an Allstate Plan G, a Humana drug plan, have the appropriate subs to establish, are we going to go Medicare Advantage? We going to go Med Sup? And then I actually get specific on which drug plan we going to go with, which Medicare. Once I know which way they're going to go, I have all their drugs and stuff in there. So then I can just go and say, okay, instead of United Healthcare, Humana is coming up as the best thing to cover your drugs. So it makes it just a real seamless process to where we can kind of figure out the path before I'm really goofing around on the computer. So, and then like you said, Silas, once you go to that custom field and put things in, I mean, you're just literally going in United Healthcare, MAPD, 0, Allstate, Plan G, 124, Humana. I mean, you can literally create a quote in 10 seconds because I've got the supplemental stuff in a template. And again, on a Medicare Advantage, my Clico products are the guaranteed issue hospital wise, a $30,000 cancer, a $10,000 accident wise. On the supplement, it's a $3,000 or a $1,000 dental vision hearing plan and a $30,000 cancer wise. And this makes it pretty simple.
Right. I want to go back to and recap what Kyle said too today. For those of you who are just getting started in the business, there's a reason that I'm asking you to go through one AEP in the under 65 space. A lot of it has to do with the training, the compliance, the oversight, but it also has to do with the fact that every single top Medicare producer on our team built a robust under 65 business before they got into Medicare. And you're seeing that with Kyle right now. Guys, he's not selling all these different plans. He's figuring out what health plan is going to be best for him. And then, like he said, he's selling dental vision, accident wise, and then sometimes critical illness and sometimes hospital wise. When I think about simplifying this business, I mean, that guy's, I mean, I don't know what he's going to make in income this year. It's hard to know exactly, but he's probably going to push in his first year in the business over $500,000 of income based on just talking to people, getting them in the right health insurance plan, selling them dental and vision, selling them accident, and then possibly, the critical illness. So those are where I'd encourage you guys to focus if you're new, to understand the health insurance, and then, make sure you're adding supplements and talking through the gaps and the holes on every single one.
Well, and Silas, by taking that approach, those 2 products, they're guaranteed issue. So he doesn't care about their health either.
Right. No underwriting.
So that's why I think, well, sometimes I'll do the critical illness. Well, if their health dictates, he'll probably do critical illness, but if it doesn't.
Right.
So.
Well, and I'd say the accident wise, I got a really nice email from Kevin McIntyre the other day. In the short time that we've had the accident wise, he's actually had 3 claims that have paid out $12,000. I think on a $16 or $17 a month premium. So he's had 3 of them just it's been a few months. And already having, 3 major claims paying out, and clients absolutely loving what he did for them. I'll tell you, you get a couple of supplemental payouts to clients, they start better understanding and appreciating and loving what, the good work that you're doing for them. So,
Hal, sometimes we lose sight of what supplemental insurance really is, and that is it gives you the right to talk to somebody who might have fallen off your books for Medicare for some other reason, because they may keep their dental vision. That's number one. Number 2 is dental vision is an easy sale for most people, and it opens the door to other supplemental coverage as well later. So it keeps them on your book. The the more relationships you have with somebody, the more sticky they are to you as an individual.
Well, and I think we have the best dental vision portfolio we've had in my 22, 23-year career here. It's, you know, these new products that they've rolled out are really good products. So I agree with you that, that's such an easy upgrade and upsell. And it's obviously weighted 2.85. There's nice commissions associated with it. People want it and people keep it. So if you're not asking that dental vision question, and I'll tell you, I've changed my tune a lot. For many years, I sold away from dental insurance. I just didn't feel like it was a good value for my clients. But as the products have gotten better and the pricing has gotten better, and we know people want it and are willing to spend the premium, there's no reason not to help them with those products. So be a student.
Dental health is a gateway for other health factors. If somebody's got gingivitis and some other things, they've got other things going on that dentists might actually be able to recognize before it gets to a serious situation. So you're really helping people. And the other thing is that when they've got dental insurance, they're going to go see the dentist. If they don't, it's just one of those things that they're going to procrastinate on. So you really help people by having them on it. But one thing I would say that we can make that better from our software point of view is if we could put the dentist in our software, just like we do with her docs, and screen the products where the dentists actually take that and, you know, take a product or two, that would be a great thing, you know.
That's a nice idea. We do have obviously the Doc Finder, which is better than it's ever been, but and it's a broader network than it's ever been because we're tapping into the UHC. Yeah, that's a good idea. Did somebody else have something they were going to say, Cav? Were you going to say something?
Yeah, you know, the whole dental vision, I'm the same way. I used to sell against it, but now it's actually part of a strategy. And so when I text leads, I ask, are you looking for health, life, or dental? So I had a lady who responded back to me and said, I'm not looking for health, but I am interested in dental. So I called her and she had just come back from the dentist. She may need some work. It turned into a $171 dental package for her family. So, I mean, it does. If you want your phone to ring, start marketing dental. As crazy as it sounds.
Yep. Your competition that's out there, you know, the people that drive around with the GPS that tells people when they're 65, those guys, those gals, they're not selling dental, they're not selling PDPs. So you go back to that and say, hey, you might have bought your Medicare Advantage plan for the year or your Med Sup, but you probably weren't talked to about this stuff. So
well, I'm a fisherman, so I think about dental. It's a lure, a fishing lure that fish react to, right? The clients react to. They want it and they gravitate towards it. So, well, hey guys, I'm glad we had a little bit of time at the end of today's call. I knew Kyle was going to be short and sweet, and when I asked him to talk, he said, "Yeah, but I've only got about 30 minutes." I'm like, "No problem. We'll take what we can get." Hopefully, you guys pulled something from it. And I'd say the biggest thing I'm pulling from everybody as we're talking over this summer speaker series is work works. The people who are being successful are just working harder than the people who aren't. I mean, I really, truly believe that's what it boils down to. There's some tweaks and some things that, you know, obviously we can take from it, but I think that's probably the biggest takeaway so far. So, well, I don't have a speaker lined up for next week quite yet. I've got a couple of people that I've got feelers out to, so I'll keep you guys updated on what we're covering next week. And if I'm able to get a speaker in, who that will be. But until then, I hope you all have a great week. Take care. Reach out if there's anything that I can help you with. Appreciate y'all. Thanks.